Katerina Malakate, a bookseller. Well, I think she's a lot of things. Well, initially she manages the literary blog 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 starting from 2009. And she's the creator and administrator of one of the most popular Greek book groups in Facebook with more than 38,000 members.
Now
she's also an author.
43,000.
I'm sorry?
Now it's 43,000.
Oh, 43,000, yes. We have an update on that. And so she's also an author. She just had a new book, her third book, actually, out in, just been published. It's called 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 𝗵𝗶 for the Greeks, you know, and faceless, you know, for in English, from 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶, from publisher 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶. And since 2013, she's also the co-owner of Booktalks, an independent bookshop that's also a cafe. And I'm sure she has a lot of things to tell us, and we're happy to hear you.
Okay. Hello all. Good afternoon. Yeah, Evripidis said, I think, everything that you needed to know about me. So I will start with Booktalks. It is a bookshop and a cafe, and when we started it in 2013, we didn't know anything about bookshops, and we didn't know anything about coffee shops, and it was really hard at first, but we tried to do what we could best, and what we could best is read. We were avid readers, that's why we started this place. And starting from that, because Booktalks is really a small place, that's all. What you see is what you get. That's a bookshop only. We have to select what books we put in and what we present. We are focused on literature because we're such a small place. We are focused on literature, and on literature that we like to read, on harder things. We sell less mass products. Maybe in Greece, we like to read a lot of love stories that are made for mass production. We sell that, but we're not focused on that. We're focused on harder books, on translations, and that differentiates us from other shops. We connect with people, we recommend books, we read books, I write reviews. What we do is that we are here for our customers. We have a book club that I moderate. We have 2 other book clubs that are hosted in the cafe. We host book presentations in the cafe, book readings, writing seminars. We keep people connected. And we do that also on Facebook. Our page, our Instagram page, our Facebook page, there's always content there. We create content. We let people know why this book was published, and if they're interested, why to buy it. And we have the group that Evripidis told you about, 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶𝗶. 𝗧𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶 means reading, by the way. And this helps a lot because there other people create content. And that brings us even more customers. Now, all this was very nice, but before COVID. The problem is that COVID came and we were not prepared. We didn't have an e-shop, like most of the independent stores in Greece. And we didn't know how to react to all this. Facebook and Instagram saved us. We started receiving many orders from inbox, from mail, from telephone, and we started delivering them. Now, as you know, in Greece, there is only one big bookstore chain, public. It has about 52 stores, and there is a great big shop in the center of Athens, 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗶, that has a very nice shop, and they take much of the internet sales. During the lockdown, there was a logistic crisis in Greece. The delivery the delivery system failed them. The car services couldn't deliver. You order a book from Politia and it came in a month. So we stepped in. We were much more flexible. We delivered books ourselves by bicycle, by motorcycle, by car, by foot, and we changed our car services, and we found one that hadn't crashed, and we gained customers. It was a very stressful time, but it was also an eye-opener. We started then to think that we needed an ESOP, and we started an ESOP. We don't have an ESOP yet. There are a lot of difficulties. I think that in the next month our ESOP will be working, but because in Greece we don't have a fixed price for books for more than 1.5 years, we have a problem there, because in public and in Politia, they can get discounts from publishers that are huge, and sometimes they sell books in the prices that we buy them in these bookstores. And if you don't have that personal thing with the customer, and there is only the shop, then there is a price war. And in that price war, you cannot really beat those big stores. So the only hope that I see for this is from an alliance. When indie shops ally, when they can have more discounts from publishers and retailers, then we will be able to solve this problem. Now, we're not very great in Greece when it comes to making alliances and discussions and finding ways and solutions. But during the lockdown, there was such a movement. Right now, there are 105 members all over Greece. You can see that they are all over Greece, really, even in the borders. And we are trying, we're discussing, we make things happen. I don't think we will be able to have a joint ESOP because that's too great for for Greeks. But it is nice that we can ally, we can fend for each other. It's the first time that we try to make something happen, and it's really nice. Okay, I think that I'll tell you about my ideas, what I will do in this lockdown, about how I will try to connect even more with customers in the Q&A section. But I have to tell you this, for me, even during this alliance, the best thing that you can do for your shop and we can do for our shops is be different. Have another opinion, try to leave a mark. A little shop like ours should be recognizable, should be Booktalks 𝗵𝗶𝗶. You know what you will find when you get in there, but once in a while, maybe we can surprise you with a book that you wouldn't find anywhere else. So I think that was what I wanted to say as an introduction. What I want to emphasize is that if we see the lockdown as an opportunity, if we act fast, I think we can have less losses. I don't think we can have anything else, just less losses.
Thank you, Katerina. I think there is food for thought here and food for discussion. The first question that I have is that has to do with what happened during the pandemic. Did you do any commercials, any Facebook ads?
Yes.
And did they work? Was it successful? Was it profitable? And if not, why? That's the whole question. Okay. Why do you think, anyway?
Our posts have a lot of organic reach because of the Facebook group. So when you make this post an ad that has already a lot of organic reads, it goes to even more people. I think that we used the Facebook ads wisely. We used them, but we didn't let Facebook use us. And it's important because if you give too much money to Facebook, then you'll get nothing in return. The percentage is really small, what you gain. And you cannot give Facebook much about for ads. But it is useful and it has tools and you can use them. And if you have an e-shop, even more. Now, for this pandemic, I think that I will start using Zoom more. Up until now, we stop our presentations, our book presentations. We stopped the book lab. We thought that only if people were present there, it would work. But now it seems that the pandemic is here to stay. For at least 1 year, we will be on and off. So I think I will start the book lab in a Zoom platform, and I will start book presentations this way, because people want to know why books are out. There are many, many books that are published in Greece, especially translations, because Greek is Greek to the rest of the world. And many people do not know why a book was published. Why did you publish this book and not the other book? And it's important to let people know what books have to offer. And I think we should communicate. We should make everything easier for the buyer.
Mm-hmm. But I'm sure you did see also that as we're trying to get the most out of this crisis, I think you agree that we did see after the pandemic, we did see people returning to the books, which was a big gain, okay, for all of us.
And the backlists worked.
Yes.
We didn't have many new releases, but there were many people that hadn't read the plug by Camille, for example. So the same sword, because it was, there were many people that came back to reading because during a lockdown you have more time. And there is there is room there. There is a chance there.
It looks that it's here to stay, at least for the time being. First time for yes.
I think for at least for a year we'll be facing this one, lockdowns and then open and then close and then open.
So how do we liquidate that? If you know what I mean. I mean, how do we use that? I mean, I think it's, we were always complaining in Greece that people don't read, okay, in general, which is true, which is a fact, okay, in general, the percentage of, this seems to change, okay, it has not, let's say, it has not been, it has not consolidated, but it has to change. How do we liquidate on that, in your opinion?
I think by being one of the readers. We have to read. We have to be. We have to build communities. That's my opinion. That's what works for Booktalks. We build communities. We are readers as much as other readers are, and we communicate that. We say that we love books. We say that we read books. We write reviews of books, and that's the only way. The only way is to be one of the readers. And when people feel safe, groups like Διαβάζοντας are a safe place. Even when they quarrel, it's a safe place. That's why they feel free to quarrel. And when they feel that they're in a safe place, they will be buying books more. Because many people don't read because they don't know what to read. They can't find their book. They have read the classics, and then what? As adults, they read nothing. This is the audience that we are, that we want. And people that are attracted to reading, because there are people that are not attracted to reading, that will never come to books.
And yes, I also see people that are first coming in the bookshop that they feel embarrassed of which book to read, and which is very important. Embarrassment, and how do you make embarrassment turn into to interest for the book and help him on that. That's
exactly. And in many ways, and for many years, the people of the book, the authors, the publishers, started forming groups, and it was really hard for the reader to penetrate. And they didn't care for the reader, and it showed. And the readers felt really ashamed to come and ask, "What would you recommend that I read? I watch these movies. I have read these books. What would you recommend?" They felt ashamed. I think that this is that we have to abolish. No, books are not for a special, very close book club for really hard authors. And it's for everyone, because everyone needs a good story. Maybe you won't get tonight a good story from Netflix. Maybe you will get it from a book.
Okay. A question is that what do you think, in your opinion, it would be something of substantial help that you can get from the state? What would translate to you help from the state? I mean,
okay. First of all, the Greek state does nothing for books, booksellers, or publishers, authors, nothing at all. It doesn't have any kind of political way to help us. So even a small thing would be a good start. First of all, there is no one that cares in the government that cares about books. No one tries to translate Greek books in other languages. No one helps authors to be authors. Most authors are not professionals. No one helps bookshops. We have the fixed book price. For years we didn't have it, but it's only for 1.5 years. It's so-and-so fixed book price. They say that they help us, but they didn't help us. And the publishers just give huge discounts to the chain, to the bookshop chain. So even the smallest thing would be a great thing. There are only individuals that do things for books. Even the book fairs, even the Thessaloniki book fairs, in the last minute they get the funding. Yes. You cannot organize something when you have 10 days. You cannot organize it. You have
invite authors. You cannot. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, it's really. We have a book fair in 5 days, and today we learned when our presentations for our books will be, and they want to bring back the bookstores in the Thessaloniki book fair. But how? You'll have to plan. You'll have to plan now for the next book fair. You'll have to plan now for the next year for bookshops. You have to plan now for the next year when the Frankfurt fair will be on. What will you show to the world? When you cannot do that, you cannot help booksellers, because booksellers are part of their chain. Booksellers cannot sell books if there is not a decent book production, if there are not editors and publishers that can survive. It's a whole thing. I don't think the state has to start and do very small things. And okay, during the lockdown, it gave these 800 euros now. It's not enough. Katrin said it. Yeah. What can you do with it?
8,000, you have 800.
Yeah. What can you do with 800 euros?
I was ashamed when I was crying about the 8,000, and here you got 800. Yeah, but if you know the loan is 4,000 euros, and
yeah, okay.
The thing is, politics didn't know the meaning of what it's been an independent bookseller or just having an independent shop. Yeah. They don't. In Germany, they said, oh yeah, but you have an online shop, everything is perfect. And we said, no, because the logistic broke down and you don't gain so much when you have an online shop. So we did everything ourselves. We talked from 8 to 8 the whole day on telephone, on WhatsApp, on video.
Does it worth it, Katerina? Having cafe in the book?
Okay, we didn't know how to run a coffee shop. If we didn't know how to run a bookshop once, we didn't know how to run a coffee shop by 100. And it was hard at first. It was hard to get the licenses because in Greece the law is very strict about cafes, and it took us 6 months to open the shop because of the coffee shop. It is worth it. It is not making much money, although it seems so. The bookshop makes more money than the cafe, but it is worth it because in the coffee shop, you can communicate with people more. You have space to make the book presentations really nice so that people that are in the audience can have a coffee, a wine, something to drink, and it is very nice. You can have seminars and people are happy there because it's a nice cafe. It has a very nice quality coffee. It's a different thing, a coffee shop in a bookstore. It has a very nice quality coffee. It has a very nice biological wine. It's a different philosophy when you open a coffee shop in a bookshop. Yes. So I'd say it's worth it, but it's not worth it when you want to make money.
Yes.
It is just to support the bookshop.
Yes, it is. It's a marketing thing.
Yeah,
yes.
if it was, if the coffee shop was only that, we would have closed it. It doesn't make enough money to support itself.
Katrin, do you have coffee in the bookshop? Or?
I will tell you something, a secret. When we start the new bookshop, we'll start with a small coffee bar, but it's secret. But
yes, okay, yes.
And from the same thing like Katerina, just to support the bookshop.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is complementary, but at the same time, it does create an atmosphere.
Yes,
yes, definitely. Even the smell.
Yeah, even the smell, yes.
And there is something else. We have no writing materials. We don't have papers. We don't have clippers. We don't have these things. So we had to support the books with something else.
Yes.
If we didn't want to end up selling a lot of these things and have a lot of paper things in our in ourselves and focus on books, so we had to have something else. You have a post office. We don't have post offices in Greece in the bookshops.
It's for parcels. It's not for letters. It's just for parcels.
Okay,
it's not like DHL. It's something simple. It's called Hermes, and they send parcels.
Okay.
Do they have flea markets that sell books in low prices or the same price? Because there's something that is quite common in Greece to have flea markets all over Greece. I mean, in how many in Athens, I don't know. How many in Thessaloniki? So there are. I don't know if you understand flea markets, what we mean. You mean?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And they are competitive, of course, to the book.
They just sell books in the flea markets?
Yes.
Okay. No, we don't.
In very low prices.
Okay, no, we don't have this. We have flea markets, but the books are not a good thing if you want to earn money on flea markets here in Germany. Many of the second-hand books are bought online. And that's a big market. Also, you can on Amazon you can order books in secondhand books, and they're on eBay. You can order secondhand books, and many people buy books online. There you see it. They don't have the flea market. They have their computer at home. That's a big problem we have here. But we don't have this flea market. I think that would be also a problem here if we would have this.
It is a problem here.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
It used to be even bigger during the 10 year, and now it's starting to a little bit to, I don't know if you agree, Katerina, it's starting a little bit to not to be that's a huge problem, but it was during the 10 years of the crisis, it was a big problem.
Yeah, the flea market.
Yes.
Yeah, it was during the years of the crisis. There was even a shop in the center of Athens that only sold these kinds of books that were stocked and were really in bad shape, but you could buy for €1-2 a book. It was really a problem. Problem for the market.
We have similar thing when the book falling out of the price fixing, then they are collected and then they were sold in the big book chains. So you have books, they are not as old, they are not secondhand, they are just in the bookshop, nobody shops them, and then they get back to the editor, and then they sell them from a low price in the book chains.
What do you think was the best marketing tactic or the best practice example that you can give us that you did and helped you to move to the next level, your bookshop?
In pandemic, we started to make book presentation in Instagram, and many of them followed us because of this at Instagram channel. But the most popular thing we did in our bookshop was starting in 2016, because in February, normally in February, outside it's cold and it's rainy and nobody goes outside. And I invited our clients to do puzzle. Do you know what puzzle is?
Yes.
I made a big table in my bookshop and I put the puzzle of 2,000 pieces there. And I said to the clients, you have 1 week to put this puzzle together. And if you are finished, we'll spend €200 to an organization in Germany, in Germering. We started with the people, the sea rescue people we have in Germany, and last year we did this to the fire workers. And the people come to the bookshops just for puzzling this puzzle. And then they say, oh, this book, I could buy this book and I could buy this. And they come and they speak together, and the radio station comes and speak about this, and the newspaper comes. And I couldn't imagine how many people talked about this thing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. At the moment, you can't put people together to make together a puzzle.
Yes.
But
in the cafe when we were finally open.
Yes, and so many people come and do this puzzle together. Older people who live alone, and they come and they put it together. It was a very nice atmosphere also in the bookshop about this, and many people come within the week and looked, oh, are they ready with the puzzle or not? And 2,000 is an amount you can do in 1 week. I want to do a 6,000 puzzle, but the table was too little, and I think it would be too much. But 2,000 is a perfect fit for this, and this was one of our greatest marketing thing, to get the people in the bookshop. And that's like Katerina say, you put people together in the shop. We also did one evening singing Christmas carols in our bookshop, bring people together singing Christmas carols together. This was also something the people come to the shop and then they see the books. And I think that's one of the most important things, to get the people in so that they lose the respect, not the respect, they see, oh, they are normal people. They are people, they are reading and they are clever, but they're like you and me. And reading is not only for the people high level, reading is for everyone. And for this marketing things, we get people in the shop to lose the fear of the bookshop. And I think this is very important, because often the people think reading is just upper class, but it's for everyone, and that's That's why I'm doing things like this.
The feedback that we had from the participant is enthusiastic, I must tell you. Great idea, a very good idea. So, yes, really.
Really I want to see puzzling people in Greece on Facebook next year.
I can do the 2,000 pieces myself in 1 week. I don't need them. I have to agree to admit that that's what the cafe does for us. Mm-hmm. When you have a coffee shop in the house, that's what it does. People come to have a coffee, to have a conversation, and they look at the books. Maybe they haven't bought a book in years, and they see that we are people that they can talk to. We're not snobs. We're people that smile, that will talk to you, and they start to warm towards books, and they feel that it's for everyone.
And when you ask about marketing, also very popular was changing tables with other shops. I put my books in the window of a shoe seller. She had her shoes, and I put my books inside, and we put some papers with some wording on there, the shop's books, and fits every time. And she put the handbags in our bookshop, and we made a table with books and the handbags around. And the people coming, buying handbags at our bookshop and buying books at the shoe shop, and get one moment. I feel
you were selling also handbags when they were selling books. Could you do that?
We don't.
In Greece, I don't think we can do that.
Yes, because I mean, you could really send handbags.
It was just within a week. 1 week now it was just a table. It was a small table, and we had 6 or 7 handbags on it, and we had also books on it. And we said, buy a book, here's the perfect handbag. And the people were coming and buy both. They buy the book and they buy the handbag. And also in the shoe shop, they bought shoes, and they also bought books. And then after the week, the shoe trader and I, we put it together. And it was just marketing. The people's.
No, it's amazing as an idea. I don't know practically if it can happen in terms of tax in Greece. I mean,
I think the tax service won't allow it in Greece.
Yes, that's the only thing. That's an idea.
Not even for a week.
It's a idea, really. Because
it's a great idea.
It's a great idea. I don't know if practically it can happen, but you can see.
But you can also show them. We had them also in a clothes shop, just in the windows, and the people see the books in the windows, and then come to our shop and said, "Oh, I want this book I see next to the red jacket." And I said, "Oh, what kind of book was it?" Yes. So just making books that the people see the books in their city, and then they come to you and want to have it. That's what's the idea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Crossing books. Yes, it's a good idea actually.
What supermarkets use, really, along with other products, they sell books.
Yeah, they do here also. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you choose the books that you have in the bookshop? Because you can't have everything, as Katerina said, or Katrin. How do you choose them? I mean, you are not a chain, so you have to make choices. You have to really be selective. How do you do that? According to what? Your taste, the customer taste, what? Anything else?
Katerina, do you start? Yes, you start.
Okay, I'll start. First of all, it's personal taste, and these books will be the books that we will try to present to people, whether through reviews, through live channels, through photos, and then there is the choice that we make for our customers. We know our customers. We know that maybe we didn't read the crime story, but our customers read many crime stories, so we will bring these too. But the truth is, the major thing is that we don't bring in many of the mass production books. Maybe we have one copy, and we don't sell it all year, and we return it afterwards. But we we focus on things that make us feel well, that we like to have there, and that's what we will sell if we like it ourselves and we know what it is, because many books you don't know what it is, and we know then we will sell it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's same here. It's the personal taste of we are 8 people working in our bookshop, and we sell what they're reading. We also sell things, you know, it will get a bestseller. We have it, yes, but books where just the editor says, "Oh, this is a perfect book. It's a bestseller." I said, "I don't know the book. I don't think the story is very good, so I won't sell it, or I won't buy it at the first." So it's much personal taste. And then you can make a bestseller of a book nobody knows. And that's the point.
Yeah, we have made a bestseller of a book of a publisher that only has 3 books right now. It started 6 months ago. And for us, it's a bestseller in the shop. Σκοτεινό νερό by 𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗶. Dark Water by 𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗶.
Okay, I will agree with both of you, because as a bookseller, it is definitely personal taste, and but at the same time, you have to have the balance on what it is. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's the most difficult thing, I think. You have the personal taste. You know what you want to read, what you want to be in the bookshop, but at the same time, you gotta have, you are a bookseller. You have to satisfy the customer, so you gotta have as very well you said, both of you, how do you differentiate from the rest? You differentiate, but what you present and how do you present it on the customer? Yes.
And what we do is we made small papers with our personal reason why this book is so perfect, and there's also standing the name of the person in the shop who loves this book as much, and then this personal paper is in the book or in the staple of the book. Yes. So the people see, oh, this is one book with paper. I want to have it, or they see, oh, this people, I read the book, I loved the last time, so she said this book is also nice, so the people buy these books, and that's why we present the books in our bookshop better than bestsellers.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have shelves that they say that this is the preference of Katerina, or this is the preference of Yorgos, and it's personal. That's the thing. But it's always difficult, even with bigger stores that have metadata and many data from their services online and their services. When I discuss it with other bookshop owners, it is always difficult what you choose to bring in the shop and what to show to people.
It is. Well, I'm afraid we have to sum up. I would like to thank both of you. I think it's been a very interesting discussion.